Boy on the block. Talk about him.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Another one coach's opinion. I haven't been in on for a while, but you know, been a little busy. But man, the other day I was at the gym, and I go to the Golden Glove sometimes and stuff. I still try to looking at the little kids and the amateurs and stuff like that, and watch them grow. So I'm at the gym. It's probably like 15 to 20 little kids, man. I mean, probably ages from maybe 8 to 10 or 11, man. Maybe a little older, you know. But I was really looking at the little kids, and man, first of all, how amazing they look. You know, some of them having the skill that they have, you know, and you look at a kid like that and you say, oh man, you know, he's gonna make a hell of a pro. But a lot of people just don't realize, man, you know, of these 20, we'd be lucky if 5, if maybe 10 stick around until they're 18 or 20. And then you'll be lucky if 5 of those turn pro, you know. And then it's just sometimes you just see a lot of kids that you remember. Think about some of the kids you remember coming up, and you ask, like, where is this kid now, man? This kid used to be amazing. You know, it's because you can get burnt out in this sport. And not to mention, what I really wanted to topic was pressure. Now, generally the pressure comes from the father. Generally, I have seen some mothers out there that were off the chain, but generally the pressure is going to come from the father. You know, I used to tell people, and when I started training kids, because I was one of those fathers, so that's how I know. Sometimes I actually look at old videos of my kids spawn when they were like 8 and 5. You know, my youngest started when he was like 5, and just moving around and stuff, and just listen to me, and I'm kind of almost ashamed, to be honest. But you know, I tell fathers, man, one of the hardest things probably to do as a kid is to take an ass whooping in front of your father. That's hard. That's hard. The man you look up to the most, at least he should be the man you look up to the most, depending on the father, you know, and you're taking an ass whooping, and there's usually nothing you can do about it. See, a lot of things, when fathers get into boxing, and I was the same way, you think, oh, you just as big as that kid, or you're bigger than that kid, you're stronger than that kid. When it goes down the line, it makes a big difference. That's why we have weight class and stuff like that. But a kid can be smaller and talented in that ring and know how to make a guy miss, and know how to hit a guy, and know how to plant his punches, and size don't have anything to do with it, to a certain extent. Of course you can't, you know, go but so far in weight, but sometimes you can. Some kids are just adapt to it more. Some kids are just more talented, you know. But you know, a new father will come in the gym and see like his son, oh yeah, he's strong, and he might, oh yeah, he's always fighting in the street, and oh yeah, you know, I'm so I just said, man, if you want to fight so much, I'm gonna bring you to the gym. You know what I'm saying? We hear that all the time. And then the kid learns that I'm really not as tough as I thought I was. Because guess what? In the boxing gym, you can't pick your opponents. When you're on the street, you're bullying, you can pick your opponents. You know who to mess with and who not to mess with, usually. You know? But you can't do that in a boxing ring. So size really doesn't have nothing to do with it. Skill has more to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Training, condition has more to do with it. You know? It's a lot more than just, hey, my son's big or he's tough. You know what I'm saying? He, you know, man, you know, I seen him do this, I seen him do that. Yeah, you know, I seen a lot of kids come to the gym, and with that pressure applied to them, they fail. They fail. You never know when a kid's head is hurting. You never know when a kid just ain't feeling. You just never know when maybe he recognizes that it's not his day before you do. And sure, you want somebody to be able to grind it out, but sometimes maybe the kid's smarter than the father. And he realized, nah, you know, I'm good. I did my couple rounds with him. It's somebody else's turn. You know, you might want me to get back in there and get revenge. But truthfully, revenge ain't gonna happen. Not this month, maybe not next month, maybe not this year, you know. But I say to say, man, you know, boxing has no, and I always tell people, it has no seasons. You know, it's all year round. And it's easy to burn a kid out. When you play football, you get a couple months break, might get half a year break. You know what I'm saying? And you look for football season. I know with AAU and stuff, and people playing all year round a lot more too. But that could, and you'll have the same effect. This will go for that too. But boxing goes all year round. There's no seasons. There's no change in type pace. There's no, oh, I can't wait for boxing to come. It never ends. So with that in mind, and the pressure of a father or a mother putting on a child, you'd be lucky to see some of these kids make it through. It's a lot of kids I run to that I remember when they was 8 or 9 or 10 or 12 and used to box, and you know, they're working jobs and probably still got some sharp hands. You know, one thing about it, you know, you don't really lose the flow as far as, you know, you can lose your speed and quickness as far as being, you know, boxer ready, but you always know how to hold your hands. You know, you always remember what you was done. You know, as long as you're in shape, you're gonna do something with the average guy, you know. But this sport can burn a kid out, man. It can burn a kid out. I've had one of the best kids in the country win all the tournaments, all the silver gloves tournaments. And when he got old enough to decide he wasn't gonna box anymore, he stopped boxing. And people still ask me to this day, where's that kid at? Where's that kid at? You know? Hey, man, he couldn't take the pressure. And I'm not talking about the pressure of the sport. I'm talking about the pressure that surrounds the sport. The pressure around the ring, not in the ring, not the coaches, but the pressure of everybody else. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's one coach's opinion. Like I said, I'm just, how do you coaches feel? I mean, what's one of the wildest stories you had to deal with the father? You know what I'm saying? Because it's majority fathers, to be honest. It's majority. A lot of mothers don't even want to come around to boxing unless he fights, and sometimes they can't even watch. A lot of them. Some of them are there. They're right there. So moms, I'm not trying to cut y'all short, but y'all see some of the fathers, and you see some of the mothers acting ridiculous too. You've seen that too. But it's a lot of pressure on a kid, and sometimes it just ain't the kid's day. Because one thing about amateur boxing, there's no draws. One kid, when two kids get in that ring, one kid is going to win and one kid is going to lose, guaranteed. So one kid is going to walk away with his head down, one kid is going to walk away with his head up every time. There's no ties, no draws in amateur boxing. It's just a win or a lose. And if you got a kid that can't take a loss, then he's going to have a very, very short career, because that's how you grow, really, to be honest. That's how you grow. You learn from your mistakes. It's hard to learn from what you're already good at, but you can learn from your mistakes all the time. So, one coach's opinion, man. How do you coaches feel? And what's the wildest story you have about your fathers? What's the rules? Some people have rules. Some people don't even let parents in the gym, or their parents aren't allowed to speak when the sparring goes on. So, what are your rules? How do you feel about what I'm talking about? One coach's opinion, just looking at these kids and how they are, man, trying to keep them around as long as we can. Hey, I'm out, man. Tell me what you think.